Napoli's going to win the Scudetto with a win over Cagliari for their 24th win of the season. In Gematria, the correct practice of coding letters and words into numbers. It is Conte that is going to win the Scudetto with a 24th league win of the season. If Inter beat Como, then it is worth pointing out that Inter would also finish with 24 wins, and basically the top two teams in the Serie A win 24 games each, and PSG is going to become the 24th team to win the Champions League when they win the final. But Napoli finishing with 82 points, and the Pope died in April. Jorge Bergoglio's Gematria of 82, and it's Napoli, sky blue like heaven, that can finish with 82 wins for the season. Now, there's do you have hope and faith in the Lord or the Savior? And basically for Napoli, this would be nothing short of a sporting miracle to win the title, because Inter were winning until the 90th minute. Lazio equalized, and they got a prayer at the end. Alex Merritt, the keeper. The last minutes were a roller coaster. I saw the bench with sad faces, and luckily Lazio equalized. And of course, they heard the roars from the Napoli section. They were score watching, then all the cheering happened, and Lazio equalized. We are still ahead in the Scudetto race. We got the miracle we are looking for in the title race. Pope Francis died. The top player for Napoli this year is Scott Francis McTominay, scoring many goals en route to 1-0 wins. Showcasing his inner Diego Maradona. Manchester United are going to win the Europa, and then 4 days later, their former midfielder is going to win Napoli's 4th Scudetto. Man U wins Europa, then their former player wins Scudetto. Cagliari's Gematria 60. I do believe that Napoli can score 3 goals. Doesn't really happen much this year, but I think they'll definitely be playing the match of their lives. Could they end the year with 60 goals against Cagliari? 60 would be Gematria of 2 Scudettos. It'd be 2 Scudettos in 5 years since the death of Diego Maradona from a heart attack in his heart. That's Gematria of 25. Also, McTominay's from Scotland. Scotland's Gematria 25. And it is Napoli with Conte that can get their 25th win of the season to win the Scudetto with the star from Scotland. Napoli's Gematria 31. They can get to goal differential of plus 31 for the season with a win to win the Scudetto at home in front of their supporters. Napoli's Gematria 95, and you see the draw from Inter today. 9 draws, 5 losses. Barcelona revenge for the terrible call right there. Barca got screwed by the refs. The referee was a Real Madrid fan because he had a Real Madrid tote bag. Marinac, the Polish referee, he had a Real Madrid tote bag. So there's corruption right there. Inter only made it to the final because of the referee. There's a foul on the build-up, but there's no VAR. Inter are bottling every competition. They bottled the Scudetto. They've bottled the Coppa Italia. They practically bottled the Champions League. They're up 2-0. They lost 3-2, but they were saved by the ref. So this team's a joke, and their bottle jobs are going to choke the final against arguably the best team in the world right now, PSG, with the front runner for the Ballon d'Or, Dembele, and the best goalkeeper in the Champions League this year, Gianluigi Donnarumma. So that's what the 24th win in the table is about. Now, Sex Fabregas is managing Como, and he is also former Barcelona with this youth career and in his senior career. He's also has that former Barcelona connection. So it's Barcelona players that are exerting vengeance over Merida. Joao Pedro with the 2 goals. He came on as a substitute. He came on as a sub in... Which minute did he come in as a sub? This was the goal. Joao Pedro came in at minute 53. 53 is Camacho of the champions, I Campioni. Now, I Campioni is Camacho of Scott Francis McTominay's name Gematria. Conte is Camacho 78, Inter at 78 points, and then Conte wins the Scudetto with his 24th win of the season over his former team. Lukaku wins the Scudetto over his former team. Lukaku's probably going to score against Cagliari for his 14th goal of the season. Lukaku's Gematria 14. Now Scott's Gematria 14 as well. McTominay, what if he scores a double? What if he gets to that 13th goal of the season, like coming over from Man U? Scott McTominay is going to probably be the first goal scorer against Cagliari. Cagliari. Scott's Gematria 58. And it'd be their 58th goal of the season, so McTominay is going to score. I'd say 3-0 for Napoli over Cagliari. I think Cagliari is going to allow their 57th goal against Conte. Conte is 57 in Gematria. Now let's go to Como, Cesc Fabregas. Now, you see that Como's Gematria of 19. Now the 19 is very significant. Inter actually have 19 Scudettos because they stole a Scudetto from Juventus. 2005-2006, Inter claimed the Scudetto over Juventus in Farciapoli. Because they were jealous that Juventus won the Scudettos. Everyone else was jealous of Juventus. Inter could never win Scudetto with Moratti. So Inter shareholders owned Telecom Italia. Every single big club was looking to select favorable referees, including Inter. Moratti was wiretapped looking to select favorable referees, but Telecom Italia was owned by Inter. Moratti couldn't win Scudetto, so they framed the rivals of the very crimes that they committed, and Inter was the only club to not have a point deduction. And Inter monopolized the transfer market as a result of the point deductions, and Juventus had to sell players. So Inter really only have 19 Scudettos. They have a fake second star. They have a fake second star in a cardboard Scudetto. They don't have that second star. They don't have 20 Scudettos. They're going to remain at 19 Scudettos. For framing Juventus of the very same crimes it committed, karma is a bitch. We've seen it. 9 straight Scudettos for Juventus, 6 years without Champions League football for Inter. They mocked Juventus for losing 2 finals against the 2 greatest ever, Ronaldo and Messi, 2 of the greatest teams ever of Barcelona and Real Madrid. The Real Madrid three-peat, the Barcelona treble, and now they're about to lose 2 finals in 3 years as well. What goes around comes around. That's what karma is. Karma is a bitch. For all of Inter's crimes, karma is coming its way. Inter Milan is 52. Como, if it scores first, it can get their 52nd points of the season. It could beat Inter for their 52nd points. It could also allow 2 goals for Inter to potentially get a win over Como. There's 2 ways of looking at it. They don't care about Scudetto. They're just focusing on the Champions League. Oh, really? They're obviously upset. Why did Inzaghi get a red card? He was mad after the penalty. Why did no Inter players or the coach speak to the media? Talking point debunked. Oh, they don't care about the Scudetto. Oh, they're just all in on the Champions League. Oh, no. They are pissed. They didn't go out to speak to the media. You just don't want to. You just don't want to pass on the Scudetto and finish the year with 0 trophies. You want to get as much trophies as you can. You're not guaranteed the Champions League final. You need all the trophies you can get. You see, all this talk is ludicrous. But that Barcelona connection, something to keep an eye out. Cesc Fabregas wants to make his name known. He has all the incentive to pull off an upset. But this is Antonio Conte's Scudetto to win. The first manager to win Scudetto with 3 different clubs. The Pope died at 88. We speak about the hope in the faith for Napoli. Oh, it appeared it's over. We can't score a goal. And then Lazio equalized due to a handball. So, Napoli got a prayer, and they got a prayer. Keep the hope in the faith. The death of Pope Francisco. Francisco is gematria of Antonio Conte, of McTominay, being from Scotland. Antonio Conte. Antonio's gematria 34. And Napoli for the season are going to finish with 34 goal differential. Quite a remarkable season for Antonio Conte and Napoli. Napoli in 10th place, 53 points. I Campionis 53 points from the prior season for Napoli again. And then how many points better this year? And they'd be 39 points better. '39 is gematria of PSG in the final against Inter Merida. Diego Maradona. Diego's gematria of the 9 draws and 5 losses for Inter and the 23 wins in the league right now. Yeah, I wonder how much time this would be from the death of Maradona. Actually, it would be. This would be around 54 months after Maradona's death. I'm not sure what that's really about. But it's clear that Antonio Conte is going to finish the job. Napoli are going to be the champions of the Scudetto, and Inter are going to bottle the entire treble and finish the year trophyless after PSG win the final of the Champions League.